All right, everybody, welcome back to my channel, and I'm here with another sketchbook tour. So, we're still in the process of going through a bunch of my old sketchbooks and kind of going through this progressive art journey as far as it goes with sharing my sketchbooks. So, these three that we're focusing on today are purely from 2017. This is still when I was very much in school, and you'll see quite a bit of that in between these two sketchbooks to a certain degree. So we're going to start small and work big. So we have this very, not the fanciest little soft kind of sketchbook. I don't even remember where I got this. Notebook, sketchbook, whatever you want to call it, with the little paint drippies on it. So clearly I have some notes here from a class. And that's what a lot of these weird little very bad drawings are from, was at least these initial ones were from part of a class that I was doing. I think it was part of the senior show where we were kind of working on these object things. I think I showed this in my previous sketchbook too, like some from one of the other sketchbooks. But yeah, that's what working on drawing that box, because we had to like pick 3 different objects and kind of bring them into class and then sketch them, because we use these as basis for creating like a building. A little gold gel pen on that feather there. But yeah, these are not great, but these are things that did in school, so I figured I'd show. There's also some fun sketches as we go further into this, so that's why I wanted to show this one. More of the gold feather idea here. So this is when we started getting like abstract with the shapes that we brought in. I think this one was like the mussel shell that I brought in. And then I definitely brought in like a crystal point. Again, the box. This was based off the pattern off the box. Still not sure what that is. And then we get into some fun little sketches. So that is actually the moon girl that I think I've shown in a different video. We have kind of like this futuristic headphones situation going on. A rough doodle for a little comic like spread I did. And then I think these were like, I was working on some rough ideas for a redraw of a much older character that I did. All right, we're gonna flip this around because I think it goes the other way now. Some very bad faces. And a blank page! Love that! Sorry for all the spinning around. Got a mermaid. Another rough doodle for a comic. This was a rough idea for something that I wanted to paint, and I don't think I ever got around to doing it. Apparently I could not actually keep drawing on one single direction. More random doodles. Bento box. This was probably around mermaid or something, because I was playing around with different mermaid ideas, like a sashimi mermaid, sushi, tea, tempura, soba, yakisoba, just a bunch of different ideas. More Little Mermaid doodles, and then this one actually became a little small artwork that I did. Maybe I'll try to put a photo up somewhere here of what the finished little doodle looked like. That didn't become anything. I don't remember what I think I did this for actually in the. Did I do this for an Inktober at some point? I feel like I sketched this out better than this. We also have like a pregnant fawn lady. And then some more little teeny tiny mermaids. And this one actually did become a full piece, or I guess I drew it later on. I'll show that image somewhere. Again, definitely around mermaid, more rough mermaid ideas, thumbnails. I think this one was based off a image that I saw on Instagram. I can't remember who it was. And then our last page of this little, I think this was some sort of character I was trying to come up with. Don't remember what the story was, but that is that sketchbook. So let's move on to the next one. All right. Actually, I'm going to save this sketchbook for last because I think this is the most fun one. So let's jump into this large one. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. So this was, again, particularly a sketchbook that I used for class during fall of 2017. Again, this was for like part of the senior classes that we were taking for the art program. So part of the goal here was, I think this was kind of leading into our summer sketchbook project. So we had to do 8 or 9 with no writing, drawings from life. We had to do 2 master copies. One was of my choice, one was they assigned to us. 3 drawings from memory, 2 from a scene or experienced in that day, or in one from like another life memory, and then 1 written response / review. So I think we were reading a specific book at this time. So this is the first one from life. This was like the outdoor kind of like auditorium section at campus. And then this one, some of you might recognize it. So actually this was one of my from memory drawings, particularly from a piece. I was trying to remember a piece from Dolly that I particularly liked that stood out to me at that time. This is another drawing from life. I think this was like a classmate. Another life drawing where I was in class and I was just doodling. Don't remember what class it was. We have, this is another one, a memory one. I'm trying to remember what memory this was. We then have some life drawings. These, I think we were at a museum and I was drawing these, potentially. Yeah, because I put like some of the artist names of whatever I was looking at the time. Some more life drawings. These are like definitely like figure drawing, life drawings. Another life drawing, and this one I particularly liked. Another drawing of life from a statue on campus. A path from on campus, and this is actually a memory. And then we have a master copy related one with notes. Another master copy one. I was looking at something that was Goya. Oh, this is Saturn eating his, devouring his son. And then I can't tell what is even this page. But over here we have a stairway that was outdoors. Inside the studio, our life model section, like setup. We get some plants. These were zinnias outside my parents' house. Also outside my parents' house, there had like, you know, a little light out there. And then we found a random baseball and that was sitting out there for a while. So that's a part of that. Another life drawing from inside the classroom perspective. There you go. Straight up pen to paper. Another outdoor scene from in campus. This was around the library. Something you all will become very familiar with as we explore and go into my sketchbooks from the summer drawing challenge that I'll talk more about in that video. But it's my hand. My hand, can I even get it in the same pose again? Kind of. Somewhat. Oh. So this was, you saw me doing little doodles. So this was a different one that I did. memory/experience, because I literally went through this and I called it the internet troll. But yeah, this was at a time, again, this was fall 2017, so I was doing the Inktober challenge, which you'll literally see the drawing in question that this is about. I was active still on Amino, and so I posted my first Inktober drawing on there, and for the prompt Swift, and somebody decided to, comment on it, just being like, literally they said, good drawing, but it offends me. And like, I was just like, are you serious right now? Like, why would you even comment that? Because especially because there's like nothing offensive about the drawing, and you'll see it. We have a very bad drawing from memory of my dog. We also have a memory drawing from when I was trying to remember one of my first bedrooms back when my family lived in Washington State. And then we have a master copy, a Rubens, I believe. Yep. I know it doesn't look like much, but that's just reality. This was another master copy. We then have another from life drawing. This was somewhere on campus. I think it might have been like the student center. Then have a very janky drawing. I almost want to say this is supposed to be a hand with a half-eaten apple, maybe. We then have another memory drawing. This was my backyard from a different house that my family lived at in California. We have another from life drawing. This is probably one of like the plaster head models that was in class. And then another thing, me probably holding an apple. And then we have another memory, again, of my dog wrapped up in blankets on my bed. We have another memory. This is based off a photo that my family took of me, because my tradition during around Halloween, it became where I would pick a green pumpkin out of the pumpkin patch. So this was supposed to be related to that. We have another master copy, Degas one. This is also another master copy, another Degas one. Oh, it's the ballerinas. I can see it now. We have another one from life. Again, it's my hand. And then another one, and these are, I think, classmates. This is, I think, was supposed to be my professor for a, what was it? A Middle East cities course that I was taking. And then I think this was supposed to be like a self-portrait, but did not look good. We have one of the classroom areas. This one is a really bad one of my brother. Yeah. From memory, I guess. This is supposed to be is bad. Another memory one. I don't even know. This is another memory drawing of a bridge, I think on campus. I could be wrong. More hands, because when you don't know what to draw from life, draw your hand. Or you end up drawing really bad portraits of yourself. That's what that is. Trying to draw, I think it was my eye. Also just not great. I like this one. This one was like, again, still life setup. I think for my painting class. I like this. It has a good vibe. Another one from memory. I think of me walking somewhere outside. Another one of memory of one of my succulents, which no, I do not have that one still, I don't think. Another one from life, somebody, classmate, sitting. And then here we have some messy ones, just like some shapes, still life shapes, boxes, chairs, what have you. More boxes, shapes, compositions. And even more of it, because you do a lot of this when you do art school stuff. And even more of little tiny, actually this is one of my bookshelves at the time, where I had like a bunch of my collection of bottles and like some old scraps from ceramics, all that good stuff. In fact, that's like this whole section. This is also one of my, this actually became a print of mine for a printmaking class. I ended up using this. But yeah, that was some items on my bookshelf. Same with this one over here, more items on my bookshelf. This was one of my Fairytopia dolls. Another one, also Fairytopia dolls involved, and a little Toothless. Which I actually still have that Toothless. It's right here. But yeah, random things on my desk. And this is a master copy. This is a Vermeer. Another master copy, apparently Matisse. Another memory drawing of like cutting vegetables. This one is very upside down. Oh, I know exactly what this is. This is a memory of a place called Abbott's Lagoon back in Northern California in Point Reyes National Seashore. More hands because I didn't know what to draw, clearly. This one is my dog who was just chilling on a couch. More random, I guess, attempts at sneaking portraits of people around me. An ugly self-portrait. God. Again, we have more items that were on my bookshelf. Some snow globes. That's that Fairytopia Little Mermaid Barbie again. And even more. We have my various jars for painting, brushes hanging out. Little wooden model with probably a tripod leg in the way. Another set of items from my bookshelf. And this was me working out the ideas in compositions for what became my biggest relief print that I made during school. It was 32 by 20, I think. Huge piece of wood. I still have it. But yeah, I was working out different designs. I ended up going with this composition. I think I have a photo of it somewhere. I'll put it up what the finished piece looked like. But yeah. But I was working out different compositions and ideas, and that's what all these sketches are. And then lastly, a little like figure drawing thing. But yeah, that is that. Again, fall 2017 sketchbook. And clearly at the same time I was working on this sketchbook, I was also working on this one. And this one is not related to schoolwork at all. So this was more of my fun, crazy drawings. So, and here we go. As I mentioned before, that little comic talking about, oh, I'm offended. This was the drawing in question they were saying they were offended by. They said it was a good drawing, but they said they were offended by it. I guess because she's a witch. But absolutely wild. So I think I was actually following the Inktober prompts for 2017 that came from like the Inktober official. So this was Swift. We then have Divided. And I should mention that some of these I colored like at the time during the challenge. Others I actually went back and I colored later on, just as like my own personal coloring book, so to speak. And this was definitely one that I went back and I colored later. But yeah, we have Divided. I ended up giving this witch character a name. I just can't remember what it is right now. We have Poison. I really liked this one at the time. I think it's a cute little idea. I think I could definitely execute it better now, which I could probably say about everything in this particular sketchbook. I could definitely execute better now. I loved this one too at the time, the whole giant mermaid idea. So this was the prompt Underwater. We then have day 5, which was long, and I did like Persephone, a version of Persephone, looking at the pomegranates. Yay! So this was day 6 with Sword, and these are actually 2 of my original characters. They became 2 of my original characters, and I've drawn them a couple other times now, but this was the first time I ever drew them. So this is Ella, and this is Rowan. And yeah, I really liked them, and so they became original characters of mine. But yeah, this is the first time I ever drew them. Speaking on the same train, we have for day 5, and then I actually went back and I colored this for May of 2018. These are 2 of my original characters as well. This is Coral and this is Dylan, and this is the first time I ever drew them. Oh, they're so sweet. I actually am planning to like start like their little comic and their little story soon, because I think it's a good starting one for me to practice working at comics with. We then have day 8, which was Crooked, and I did kind of this vampire character with a little crooked smile. That was the idea I was going for. We then have day 9, which was Screech. So I think it's self-explanatory what the idea was I was going for. Actually, the Screech was the door opening. And then we get to the point where I stopped. I haven't, painted these little sketches, but we have day 10, which was Gigantic, with this weird, I don't even know what to call this creature. We then have day 11 with Run, with an attempt at a little comic. So yeah. We have day 12 with Shattered fish tank with the mermaid getting out of the water. As you can see, I started coloring this one. It did not finish because I started coloring and then I kind of hated the colors I picked. We then have day 13 with Teaming. The idea was like there was a lot of spirits teaming around like this medium. We then have Fierce, and I drew Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, for Fierce. We then have day 15 with Mysterious, kind of another like psychic-y, I don't know, vibe going on. This is when I started getting lazy with the challenge and started doing smaller works because I was just trying to get the challenge done. So for day 16, we have Fat with like a bat who ate all the candy. We have day 17 with Graceful. The idea was a graceful owl flying and landing kind of situation. We then have Filthy, and the idea behind this one was a witch watching her, it was supposed to be a werewolf friend. So I think I actually like this idea, and I feel like I could definitely do it better now. And yeah, this could be really funny if I redid it right. Oh, well, turn the sketchbook back around. So we have Cloud, pretty self-explanatory, girl sitting on cloud looking at moon. Then we have day 20 with Deep. She's a deep sea mermaid witch. This is supposed to be the bubbling cauldron. Again, another idea that would be kind of cool to see redone now. I do like her face, though. We then have day 21 with Furious, kind of a furious fury being tied up, I guess was kind of the idea. We then have day 22 with Trail, with the little gate, Tory gate in the background, like little spirits popping out here. We then have Juicy. Again, I kind of like this concept. I think it could be neat if I redid it now. We have day 24 with Blind. I had such a pretty idea for how to paint this and just never did it. And then we have day 25 with Ship. This one I did color, and this one is another, once again, original character of mine. And I believe this character's name is Narita? I think I have that right. I have a couple one-off mermaid characters. Sometimes I mix up their names, but I'm pretty sure that's the name of this one. And I had a whole idea and like story that I started working on for this. Oh, this one's so stupid. So this is day 26 with Squeak. The only thing I could think of was a mouse. And then I just came up with the idea because, it's Halloween. I thought of the movie Mean Girls, where it's like, it's Karen? Wait, no. Oh, I'm mixing up the names. But one of the characters in Mean Girls, she's like, I'm a mouse, duh. I'm pretty sure that's the line. So I inverted it and was like, I'm a human, duh. Yeah. Dumb idea. Anyway, we have climb. Again, I was getting very lazy and very out of ideas at this point. But there's like these rock formations. I'm pretty sure it's in Ireland that kind of look like this. So that's where the idea came from. But then with dragons involved. So yeah. Then we have fall. There was going to be a pretty idea of like painting loosely some like trees and stuff with this little fall elf girl. She's still cute though, with all her little freckles. More of my original characters. God damn it. I drew them a lot for this one. Which is funny because then I later on did, I think it was my 2018 Inktober challenge. I literally did nothing but OC characters for that challenge, and I made up my own prompts. I'm pretty sure it was 2018. But anyway, day 29, United. And so technically a little bit of a spoiler is involved in this image for their story, but we have Scully and we have Jack. Two very, very old characters of mine, him being probably the oldest character of mine. We then have day 30 with Found, Witch finding her lost fox companion. This was probably one of my favorite ones out of here because I was so happy with the way that this came out. We have the last day, 31, with Mask, and this is based off a reference image that I saw on Pinterest of this like really crazy detailed mask. That's all the information I have about it, but that's where the inspo came for this piece. And now we go into some other random drawings. This was clearly when I was watching Voltron. Because we got Voltron characters. Keith Pidge? Was that the name? And then, oh, I feel so bad that I can't remember his name. Is there just a V, right? He's such an asshole, but I loved this character. God, he's the evil prince character. I loved Voltron. I just wish I could remember the names right now. This was supposed to be, the whole idea behind this page was to do like little tiny doodles that all built on each other and kept going out and out and out. And clearly I never finished that. Nor did I finish inking it. Then we have, I love this group of mermaid paintings, and they were pretty popular on social media when I originally posted them on my old account. But we have, I think it's a set of 3 different mermaids that were based around different like Christmas winter themes. So this was Christmas tree. She's so cute. We have this one, which was holly, like a holly wreath. She's probably my least favorite. And then we have Snowflake. This probably between this and Christmas tree are like my most favorite. I'm wrong. There's 4. We have Candy Cane, which I do like that one a lot. I do love all 4 of these. I've meant over the years to come back and like redraw these ones. Actually, I did have a sketch for this one, sort of. But yeah, I just never have done it. So definitely let me know if you would like to see me redraw these. This was kind of practicing, playing around with the idea of like doing a logo for something. This is a redraw of a very old drawing of mine. I'll try to put the image up here. But yeah, this was actually, we're getting to 2018 territory of drawings. But yeah, I loved how this one came out and just redrawing her. I still like it a lot. It had such this specific way of like painting in water at this time frame. And then, yes, this was like, you're gonna see this for sure. This was like a little rough draft for a little comic involving Dylan and Coral. And so I will be doing that eventually. This is going in, so now we're definitely into 2018 territory, because this was February for sure, because I was trying to do Fairy February. So I was doing these really rough little doodles. So we have Wind, we have Royal, Forest, and there's Ella again. We have Darkness, we have Gemstones, Waterfall, Succulent. That one's kind of cute. We have Lake with, of course, a Kelpie, because I was obsessed with Kelp. I'm still obsessed with Kelpies. Then this is actually, these last little drawings were me doing rough sketches, trying to come up with an idea for a class project that I had to do where we were doing relief carvings, and we were going to do like a color one. So a subtractive like color project where basically you have to like, it's a whole thing. But anyway, that's what I was playing around with. I still really like this one, and I would love to redraw this, especially because I have a very specific color idea. We had to do like, what is it, like a tricolor color scheme. This was actually the sketch that I ended up doing it with. I'll try to put up an image if I have it of what the finished piece was. But yeah, I was like using yellow, green, violet. This is gonna be white, and then there was what? Green, orange. Was that the color? So yeah, you had to kind of like layer it to do this whole thing. And this was the initial one that I was trying to do, but it just was not working. So I ended up doing that one. But yeah. So that is mostly the 2017 sketchbooks, a group of them, although we were starting to get into 2018 territory. I have more sketchbooks to come, so definitely stay tuned. And I hope you enjoyed this. Again, comment down below which sketch was your favorite and what you would like me to see me redraw now with my level of skills. I would love to know what you liked and what you would like to see next. So yes, I will see you guys in my next sketchbook little tour. Bye-bye.